Hey guys, it's Mama Bree and I'm back with another video. I told you all in my last video that I'll be coming to you all with a story time to talk about the day that I lost my mom. So before we get into this video, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, subscribe, and hit that like button before we get started again. So I'm not going to hold y'all too long, but I do want to share with you all the tragic time in my life. It happened back in August 25th, 1987. My life was forever changed. It was on a Tuesday. Yep, it was on a Tuesday. And before that Friday, before she was murdered, we were talking, and she told me that if I ever had kids, she said, I don't care if they have one outfit, keep that one outfit clean and keep my grandkids, always keep my grandkids clean. And if the father don't help you with them, do not run after him. Just take care of my grandbabies the best that you can. And I remember saying, oh Mom, I don't want to talk about that. Why are you talking about that? You're not going nowhere no time soon. And she said, well, I just needed to tell you that. But she was very serious about that at that moment. And that Saturday, we had went to a cookout, and I was dancing, and she was just watching me. And you know how mom was always hyping their baby up. I don't care if their baby don't know how to dance. They'd be like, go baby, get it baby, ah. And you know, I probably wasn't a great dancer, but in my mom's eyes, oh, she was my hype man. Go baby. I remember her, she was sitting on the side, and I was dancing, and she was just hyping me up. And I remember that happened on Saturday. But anyway, we're gonna scroll on back. We're gonna scroll on down to August the 25th. I did my usual routine. I called her when I got home from school to tell her that I was home. And she told me that she was stopping by Pdshadesonline, which was a department store. And she said, I'm going by Pdshadesonline when I get off work to buy me some Beautiful, which was a perfume by Estee Lauder. She said, do you want anything? And I said, no, I didn't want anything. She said, okay, well, I'm stopping at Pdshadesonline to get me some Beautiful because I'm all out of it. And then I'll be headed home. I said, okay. Well, she was dating a guy at this time, and he and her, they owned some duplexes, which were triplexes, duplexes, some property at the time. And I didn't know that they were arguing about her, him needing her signature so that he could sell the property. And my mom was like, I'm not signing that because I don't want to sell the property, because she felt like she invested in that property for her kids. So she was like, I'm not selling it. And he fell on hard times. They had broken up, and he fell on hard times, and they was arguing over her signing her name. And so on August the 25th, he had been calling her job. I didn't know that at the time. And she called her girlfriend, and she told her friend, which was Diane, her name was Diane. She said that the person that killed her, she told him, he keep calling my job. And Diane told my mom, well, you need to write a note and put that on the note that if anything happens to you, that he did it, you know. And she wrote a note, and Diane told her, you need to put the note where we can find it. Like Sabrina, all of us can find the note if it happens. So my mom did it. And so August the 25th, I'll never forget, I was sitting in the house, and I was about to go to my friend's house. And my mom was about to go to this park to walk. So something told me to wait for her to leave and walk her outside. But then another voice came and said, leave now. And while that second voice came to me and said, leave now, no, that was the first, I jumped up And I said, okay, Mom, I'm gonna go. I'll see when you come back. And she said, okay. So I left. Went on to my friend's house. Got to my friend's house about 10 minutes. I could hear my little cousin running, screaming, and crying, running towards me to my friend's, where I was at my friend's house. So when I opened the door, she's like, Aunt Helen is dead. Aunt Helen, something happened to Aunt Helen. So I ran. I remember running, and I had on some blue sweatpants and a white t-shirt. And I could remember, y'all, running for my life. And by the time I got to the corner of my house, where the street where my house was on, I started running the opposite way. Because all that day, let me just back up a little bit. All that day I felt gloomy. And you know, you ever get a feeling that something's gonna happen? Anyway, it was like a dark cloud was over me. And I told my friend's mother that I felt that way. And she was like, Sabrina, shake it off. That's probably the devil. Don't just shake it off. But I couldn't shake it. But I didn't know what it was at the time. So when I got to the corner of my house, I started running the opposite way to my another friend's house. Because I knew as soon as I got to that corner, that dark cloud, it left me. It was like, did whatever happened, that's why that cloud was following me. And now that it has happened, the cloud was gone. So I ran the opposite way, and I remember I didn't even knock on my friend's mother's door. I just opened the door. And she said, Sabrina, what's wrong? And I fell to her ground, to the floor in her house. And I said, they said my mom, something happened to my mom, dad, I don't know. And she ran outside. And then we all ran to where my mom was at. And sure enough, a couple of minutes, I just started hearing sirens. And sure enough, they wouldn't let me go in the house. And I was like, well, what happened? Tell me. So the police came. It was just that quick. Anyway, he had killed my mom just that quick, her ex-boyfriend. And he had parked on the opposite street, jumped the fence, went through the backyard, and went in my mom's house and killed her. And she died instantly. And of course, we had to go, and all of us had to be fingerprinted because everyone that was in the house within the last 48 hours had to be fingerprinted. And we went to be fingerprinted, and I know my mom's brother was like, I'm just gonna go to jail in case they catch him tonight, so I'll meet him in jail, because everybody was like just wanting to get their hands on him because we knew what happened. So then her friend Diane comes, because of course we were still out in the street. I mean, the whole street was just blocked off with police officers, coroners, because they, of course, you know, they keep bodies in the house for hours. So I don't think they removed my mom to like before day the next morning. It was like 5:30 in the morning. This is how late everybody was up. This is how busy this block was. I remember, so I had my mom's purse, and I remember her friend Diane saying to me, Sabrina, I don't know who did this to your mom, but I got a feeling that I know who did it, because she had called me because he was harassing her yesterday. He was harassing her at work. And I told her to write a note that if somebody did it, put everything, put what you feel in this paper. And so she said, I told her to put it where you will find it. So when we finally removed her body and they let us go in the house, we ripped that house upside down looking for a note. Little did we know, maybe 3 or 4 days later, I was going through her purse, and little did I know, the note was in the purse. It was in a side zipper, and the note said, if anything happens to me, please arrest MacArthur Stewart, because he threatened me. And I gave it to the detectives, and they still didn't find him. They didn't catch him for about 2 years. So of course I lived in fear for 2 years, because I didn't know if this man was gonna come back and kill us or what. So I lived in fear. I had to have, I was around people constantly. I was never left alone. I never went to the store by myself for years. This happened for years. I just couldn't be alone. I couldn't be in a house with the window shades open, because I always felt that, you know, if he killed my mom, who am I? He'll probably come and kill me too, you know, because they hadn't caught him yet. And so it tormented my life. I mean, I was just never the same person, because what that did to me, it ripped a part of me that I've never gotten back. Just ripped it out of my heart. And you know, for many years I would pray, ask God for them to catch him. And finally, after about 6 years, 6 years, people, 6 years, and you know that they call that black on black crime. They don't be looking for too many people. When you commit black on black crime, they ain't doing a lot of looking for you. I'm just gonna be keeping it real with you like that. They ain't doing too much looking. And anyway, 6 years later, and you know what? He was living in St. Augustine, Florida, working on a shrimp boat. And his nephew turned him in. And I don't know who his nephew is, but I thank God for him. He told the detectives that his uncle, on a few occasions, will be at their cookouts and he would get drunk. And he would always say how he killed a lady named Helen. By the way, that was my mom's name. And he said that he knew that there had to be some family somewhere hurting, because his uncle keeps talking about how he had to kill her and all this. And he's just sitting here bragging about it. And his uncle contacted the detectives in Miami, and they took a trip to St. Augustine, and the nephew told the detectives where he was working. And they went on a shrimp boat and arrested him. And the detective said when they approached the boat, he just held his hands up. And they said he didn't fight, he didn't argue. He just knew what they were there for. So God did answer my prayers. So I had a little bit of relief, but not much. And then the next couple of years, we was preparing for trial. And trial was very difficult for me. They wouldn't let us in the courtroom. He did not want us in the courtroom, and I could not understand that to this day, why he was able to get his wish granted to not have her family in the court. So at that time, I was married to Love and DJ's father, and the mediator, I asked the mediator, well, if they won't let me in, can they let him go in for me? And they said yes. And so they let him go in. And you know, I had a dream that my mom and this individual, that before he took her life, they fought. And my mom came to me in my dream, and she said to me, told me not to worry, because she fought, she just lost. And when I was looking at her in my dream, under her fingernails was a lot of skin. And do you know that the detectives told me that when my mom, the reason they knew that he did it because his DNA was under her nails, his skin was under her nails, so they took that as DNA. That's another reason why they knew that he had killed her, because they got his DNA. And I said, wow, they didn't know that I had that dream that my mom told me. She said, oh, I fought, I gave up a fight, I just lost, but know that I fought. And so that kind of gave me some relief. But it's still not the same without your mother. I don't care. It's just still not the same. But so over the years, and I think they gave him, I forget how much time they gave him, but anyway, he ended up serving maybe like 8 years. That's it. And after he got out of jail, you know, I had to find a way to forgive him. I had to forgive him because he already did his time according to the law, and now I'm still holding on to all my hurt and my pain, and I had to forgive him. And that's why I'm here. I can talk about it now, because it's been over 30 years that it's happened. I can talk about it, and that's why I know God he's real, and he's a deliverer, and he will help you with anything, and he'll give you the strength to endure, because that's what he has given me. And like I said, I had to forgive him in order to keep going, in order to be a better mother for my children, a better person, a better sister. I had to forgive him. So if anyone is out there that's dealing with any type of hurt from losing a loved one, I feel your pain. There's not a day that don't go by that I don't think about my mom. Matter of fact, I'm giving myself some kudos right now because I'm not crying. Because I usually cry on August the 25th every year, or I get a sadness to come over me, and it didn't happen this past year. So I know God is good. God is so good, and I just give him all the praise, because I wasn't able to do this a while back. So I know I'm delivered. I've come a long way. So I hope this video has helped someone. Excuse me. I hope this, like I said, I hope this video has helped someone. And again, if you want to talk about anything, comment below. Y'all know the routine. Comment below and let's talk, honey. Talk with Mama Bree. Let's talk. Excuse me. And until next time, y'all be blessed. And like I said, comment below. Let's talk. Let's talk about whatever you want to talk about. If that's the only way. All right, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and end this video because my daughter said I talk too much. But anyway, y'all be blessed. Love you all. Till next time. See you later. Bye-bye.